and rely on fleet of foot. But handling mistakes, they're squandering a lot of mistakes, but a lot of the ball by their inability to have a target further afield. Any tall players, and this was a fine goal. Here's again Prahran going forward with precision. There's Tom Kuipert, who was terrific up forward, finding on that occasion Lennox on his own, and Lennox on that occasion put Prahran in front by a goal. But they're just really, every time they get the ball, they always look for an option further afield, and there was that indiscriminate kick forward by Winton, who found Markov, who didn't let him down, and there's Markov again, who had to depart in the latter stage of that second term. Brian Winton, you know, who's just been a focal point for them up forward. A hurried kick forward again. This see Brian Taylor in front of Finlay, who's done a reasonable job on Taylor. But what Taylor's done, he's done, you know, with aplomb. Preston going forward here, and Tucker positioned himself nicely and converted truly. But they really need a bit more up forward. They've only kicked 4 goals.
Closing and it gets slippery. We go back and we play the percentage in the 1% a game, okay? Kick long, one handball. We lessen the disposal situation. Not as many disposals. Basic football. Be spontaneous in the way that we give it out. Aaron Martello, bloody great stuff. Asked for a lift at half-time and you were fantastic. Inspired the whole team. Every knockout in the centre he won. He kicked long when he got it. He did everything right. Now that's what we expect of you on this last quarter as well. Gertzy's still attacking the ball. Dave Lucas, Tommy Shelton's starting to get involved. Simon's getting loose. Scotty's doing his job at centre half back, and Sugar is bringing the ball to the ground at centre half forward on every occasion along with Tree.
Well,
guys,
Sam,
you don't expect those guys.
Any extra pressure with the cameras in so close as you're addressing three-quarter time? I don't suppose it happened at Camberwell much with the greatest respect.
No, we didn't have the benefit of the cameras there. Well, not the benefit, but I certainly wasn't subjected to the additional 5 goals whilst keeping Preston goalless. And here are the highlights from this first term, and Tom Kuipert, who's been a wonderful half-forward.
Yes,
kicking a goal.
Preston only kicked 1 point in that quarter.
Yeah, well, their woes really up forward were compounded with their lack of height. Povey's been tremendous across this midfield. Taylor himself made a contribution in that term. His mere presence is enough, but as was the case in this term, he got his hands to a number of marks and tap-ons. Pearson goes forward, but McCormick was a wonderful defender, and there he doubled back to thwart another possible Preston score. Langan was very good, driving the ball forward. Taylor using his strength again, and that trusty right foot of his. What a wonderful goal.
He's been good, Michael Sinney, Sam.
Yeah, Sinney's been terrific, and as is this guy, Povey. Look at that for a kick. Once again, straight through. Another major, and again they go forward, and Sinney again, a towering mark over the pack. Got back quickly. Langan, and this is the mark. No, Winton in front. Shelton, fine hand pass onto the running Kuipert. Kylie, and his long kick results in
Tribunal tomorrow night after becoming the first finals victim of trial by video this year. Melakalis has been cited for allegedly striking Footscray captain Doug Hawkins during the third quarter of yesterday's qualifying final victory. Surprisingly, Melakalis is the only player from the weekend's matches to be cited. Meantime, Hawthorn ruckman Greg Deere fronts the Tribunal tonight on the serious charge of kicking. Deere was reported by umpire Chris Mitchell for allegedly kicking West Coast Dean Kemp during the first quarter. Meantime, the final series is over for rugged Geelong defender Stephen Hocking and Footscray forward pocket Brian Royal. Hocking has a broken collarbone and Royal a reoccurrence of a hamstring injury. The injury to Royal is a savage blow to the Bulldogs. One of their few experienced big-time players, Royal has kicked 42 goals this year, the third most prolific scorer in the Bulldogs side. His hamstring is torn, and even if Footscray makes the grand final, he will be doubtful. Doug Hawkins with concussion, Tony Campbell with an ankle injury, and Scott Wynd, who missed with a thigh injury, are all expected to be fit. At Geelong, Stephen Hocking's collarbone is broken after being cleaned up by Doug Hawkins. Ironically, the man he replaced, Mark Bairstow, will be rested tonight at training, but is expected to be ready to resume resume after suffering from a virus. And at St Kilda, other than Frawley, Sean Ralphsmith has an injured ankle, but he is also expected to be right to play against the Bulldogs. Meantime, the Hawthorn players arrived back in Melbourne in the early hours of this morning, sore and disappointed, but not disgraced. And as Stephen Quartermain reports, the wake is still continuing.
Hawthorn yesterday lost its chance to defend its premiership when it went down to the Eagles by 13 points. However, no one could question the players' hearts. They went down fighting, but injuries and tired legs took their toll in the final quarter. Today, the Hawks were still at it at the traditional end-of-season wake. By the time the 10 cameras caught up with them at the South Yarra Saloon, only the stayers were left. Jason Dunstall finished the season with 145 goals, just 5 short of the all-time record. A sensational performance. Dunstall, though, could not hide his disappointment today and thinks West Coast will go on and win the flag.
You know, we had the opportunity to go through for the double chance, but Eagles have got it, and I think they'll win from now.
You think the Eagles are favourites?
I think they will.
Yourself personally, disappointing not reaching that 150 milestone?
No, not really. I mean, we're out there to win. Winning's what it's all about. We didn't win, so, I mean, the number of goals pales into any significance.
John Platten was another star drowning his sorrows, but he says the Hawks can hold their heads high.
The way that we bowed out yesterday, it was very disappointing, but I think Joycey was very happy overall that the team went okay and we made the 6.
St Kilda captain Danny Frawley is fighting a battle against time to be ready for the Saints' first semi-final against Footscray. Frawley has taken the week off his job as a development officer with the AFL to have physiotherapy on his injured Achilles tendon twice a day. The one down point in St Kilda's victory over the Magpies was the injury to skipper and fullback Danny Frawley. Frawley will have intensive treatment all this week, but is extremely unlikely to be fit.
Got to a stage where I couldn't run, and I'm not that quick anyway, so I thought it was probably in the best interest to go off, but it has pulled up fairly well, and I'll just have to wait and see what happens the rest of the week. I'm having physio twice a day, and I've taken the week off work, so give me it every chance.
One consolation for Frawley, making Collingwood captain Tony Shaw pay up $20 from their bet on the toss of the coin at the start of the game. Yeah, Tony, how does it feel to give that $20 over?
It hurts. It really hurts. Matter of fact, I've had a good run with the toss this year, but after losing on Saturday, I thought I'd better pay him.
Shaw will consider his position over the summer, but is keen to continue for another year at Collingwood and predicts Peter Dacos will remain at Victoria Park.
Look, Dakes is a champion. He'll come back. There's no doubt about that. And you've got to wear him, you know. Everybody gets criticised at certain times. It's those who come back, and there's no doubt Dakes will.
The Sydney Swans have named Paul Kelly their best and fairest player for 1992. Kelly, recruited in 1990 from Wagga, finished third in the award last year. The 23-year-old played every game this season and was a clear-cut winner from rover Barry Mitchell, ruckman Brad Tunbridge and forward Simon Minton-Connell. American Wayne Rainey.
Prahran players have put the long stops on as Shaw takes the mark from Bizzotto in anticipation of heavier rain in the quarter. The ground is fairly hard, we must say, for July.
Make sure it may end the back, give you a couple more metres.
You wouldn't want to wear
Thanks, mate.
long stops all day, you'd end up with them big blisters.
Thanks, mate.
Now, Jamie Shaw, yet to goal today.
That's it, back, that's it.
And he's still goalless, hasn't that to his tally of 62 for the season. He's had a tough opponent though in McCormack. Gertz kicks in, looking for Povey. Up towards Langham. In front of Niccolo. And they've got it to centre wing. Prahran, Sam, I reckon they're in about third gear.
Prahran, yeah, they're well within themselves. Playing well within themselves. Got the game well in hand.
Winton wins it. Shark by Lumachese over David Owen's head.
Well, of course, they'll be quite content with this Prahran. Preston are the ones that have to initiate the drive and create. Prahran will be quite content just to close it down.
Lucas finds.
After a Jerry Rice touchdown for San Francisco, Giants tight end Mark Collins had nowhere to go except straight at the umpire. Just for the record, the 49ers had a big 17-point win, 31-14. Between Minnesota and Toronto. But unlike his gridiron counterpart, Jim